Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings, aka Zero Fats, coming at you on behalf of AdventuresOnTheRiver.com and the Zero Fats Returns YouTube channel. Guys, today I am joined by a very special guest. He is the owner of NomadicIncomeExperiment.com and the Nomadic Marketer YouTube channel. He's an affiliate marketer specializing in CPA. He's a contributor over at AffiliateFix.com. I want to offer a very warm welcome to none other than Casey Lindsay. Casey, thanks so much for taking the time out to talk to me today, man. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Yes, sir. I appreciate the opportunity to connect with you and your audience, Cam. Thanks.
Absolutely, man. Listen, for those who don't know you yet, and I admit I didn't know you. I was attracted to your writing style on Facebook. I loved your videos on YouTube. And I was just like, dude, I want to get this guy on to do an interview, and I didn't know if you had any products for sale or if you had a blog or anything. I didn't have any idea, man. I just liked what you were doing out there. And for other people who don't know you, could you just tell everybody what you do, where they can find more information about you and stuff? So.
Sure. Well, my name's Casey. I'm the Nomadic Marketer. I started contributing to the Affiliate Fix forum, which kind of specializes in CPA. They do some other affiliate marketing guides and posts inside their paid side of their forum. But I started to follow along in there maybe 6 months ago, and during that time I had some great feedback from the people who run the forum, and they said, "Hey, you got to get a blog going." So I started the blog, and it's a pretty new property, but it's NomadicIncomeExperiment.com, and YouTube channel just kind of spun out of that as well, and just a way that you can connect with your audience and try to get back and help people out. So,
Absolutely. Excuse me. Let me ask you this, man. Before I get started with any of these other questions, man, explain the nomadic marketer idea to me, man. Explain that concept of nomadic marketer, because it's a really cool name, and I love the idea of just being like a nomad, walking across the desert, no home. I don't have a home, dude. Where I lay my head is home. Like that Metallica song, man. I just love the idea of the nomad thing. So where did you get that, man? Where did that come from?
well, I've had a kind of a vision to travel with my family for quite some time, and my wife and I are actually kind of in the process of getting our home ready to sell here in the next maybe 6 months or less. We're going to buy an RV, and the things that I'm doing outside are developing revenue streams so that we can work from anywhere. And we're going to take our kids and go travel full time in an RV. Our goal is kind of to travel the United States for the first 4 or 5 years, and then maybe jump off into some international travel for a few years as my kids get a little bit older. But
That's exciting, dude. There's another person I know who wants to do the same kind of thing, and so you're the second person I've heard who has that ambition or that goal to kind of be nomadic and just travel the country and live from an RV. I think that's awesome, dude. That's really cool. You ever see that movie About Schmidt?
no, I've never seen that one.
Dude, I'm telling you, you gotta see it, man. Look, you know what? I'm not gonna
I'll put
mess
it
the
on my.
interview up by talking about movies. I'm not gonna mess it up. It's a great movie. He does a similar kind of thing with RVs. It's a cool movie. It's got Jack Nicholson in it. It's a great movie. I'm gonna shut up
I'll
about
watch
it.
it. I'll watch it.
I'm gonna shut up about it, but it's cool, man. And anyways, whatever, man. Listen, how'd you get your start with online marketing, Casey? How far have you come since then?
Well, I guess we all have our entry point, the niche or sub niche that we are first exposed to in internet marketing. For me, it was retail arbitrage, and just kind of really an accident. I was just looking for ways that I could make extra money. I needed something that I could do that wasn't like tied to a job or something like that. And so just watching YouTube videos like a lot of people do, you come across a channel, you're like, hey, this guy, I like what this guy says, and I think he's onto something. And so, retail arbitrage was kind of how I first got started. It's just, you take your phone, you download an app that's a scanner, a barcode scanner. You go to Goodwill or different places, and you will scan the barcodes, and you're just looking for arbitrage. Like buy it over here for $5 and sell it on Amazon for $25.
Absolutely.
And
I know that model
and
very well, man. I know that model very well.
Is that something that you have
Oh
engaged
yeah,
in
dude.
at
Yeah,
one
yeah,
point or
man.
another?
I started online
Awesome.
selling books on Amazon. Absolutely. So yeah,
Amen.
I know exactly what you mean. Retail arbitrage, I know all about it. Absolutely. It's hard work though, isn't it? It's not like just some kind of
Yeah.
easy thing. I mean, there's work involved with retail arbitrage.
Well, and for me, it didn't take very long, maybe 4 or 5 months. I made a few $100s, maybe $500 or $600 or so. But the thing was, is that what I was really looking for was something that was scalable. Something that you could get exponential returns for incremental increases in the time that you put in. And really, for retail arbitrage, at least the way that I was sourcing, and for where I am, and the way that I could source, it just wasn't something that provided that kind of scalability. It was more of a direct exchange where the amount of time I put in determined how many products I could source and how much money I could make. So and then I kind of moved away from that. But that was my first exposure.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. And it's very true. You're absolutely right. It is kind of a direct thing. Like however much energy you're putting in is how much you're getting out of it. Now, I will say with the Amazon FBA model, it does switch that game up a little bit, but still, you're not quite in as much control, and you still put more work in than you do with like affiliate marketing, like like what we're going to be talking about a little bit today. So
Sure.
I definitely agree with you, man. Listen, so you are an affiliate marketer, which is cool. And when I first wanted to interview you, man, it was for your writing ability and like your ability to make great videos. I didn't really know that you were an affiliate marketer. I think that's awesome, dude. One of the things that really impressed me about you, like I said, was your written posts on Facebook, your insightful YouTube videos. So that being said, when it comes to the idea of writing and doing videos to inspire people to buy products or sign up for offers, which is kind of what we do with affiliate marketing. Can anyone do it, man? In your opinion, is there a system you have that you can share with others that they might be able to follow, new people?
Well, can anyone do it? Of course. If you have a big enough why, your brain will figure out the how. So I think motivation is the key. You can overcome any obstacle if your why is big enough. So of course, anybody can do it. As far as the system, if I could, I'd like to kind of break that question into two parts. One part kind of a psychological, and the other more process. So from a psychological standpoint, and as Frank Kern says, I'm going to get kind of esoteric here for a minute, if you'll allow me. But from a psychological standpoint, you have this thing in your brain called your reticular cortex. It runs your reticular activation system, and really what it does is it's kind of like a filter. It tells your brain what to pay attention to, your conscious mind what to pay attention to. And so your reticular activation system is really directed by programming, and the programming comes from your conscious mind over a period of time. So, for example, the way that the reticular activation system works is you're processing millions of pieces of information at any moment: sight, sounds, colors, taste, smells, and a lot of that information, the vast majority of it, it just doesn't have any relevance to you. And so it's in your short-term memory and it gets dumped. So if you're driving down the street and a week later I said, hey, can you tell me what color car was at that intersection a week ago? It doesn't have any relevance to you, so you're not going to remember. But if that car, say, had a major wreck right in front of you and you just barely missed being in the wreck yourself, and I said, what color was that car that was in that accident? Oh, it was red. Because it now has relevance to you, right? And so your reticular activation system, we program that by what we tell it is important. And so how this applies to the idea of a system as far as developing writing or things like that. If you want to write about a particular subject, you need to immerse yourself in that subject. You need to learn the vocabulary and what's taking place and kind of the ins and outs, in my opinion. And so you're telling your reticular activation system that these things now have relevance to you. And so you begin to be able to spot opportunities that you might not have seen before because now your mind says, this is important, I'll pay attention to this. And so you don't miss those opportunities to kind of to put those pieces together that you might have missed before. So that's on the psychological side. As far as the process, I'm actually going to I have a video that I was in the process of shooting for my YouTube channel. It's not up yet. It's Ben Franklin's method of copywriting.
Nice.
So Ben Franklin, he taught himself to write well by reading the Spectator, which was a publication that had some of the most prominent writing of his day. So he knew that he was not a good writer, and he wanted to develop this skill. So what he would do is he would sit down and he would read a specific article that was very well written. He would read it several times over, try to kind of plan it in his mind, and then at the end of the day, he would come back and he would try to write it out as best he could in the exact order and sequence and with the same eloquence that it was written. Very quickly, he discovered that his vocabulary was lacking and his sentence structure and things he could improve upon. So he just set to work. There's no cost to this. You can find, if you want to develop a swipe file of, say, Alex Jeffries, I have about 500 emails of his in a swipe file. You can take, these emails that come in from these people that are very, very good at copywriting, and you can begin to look at the way that they put these together. And in much the same way that Ben Franklin used this, you can teach yourself. And so as you progress, the next thing is you begin to write it out, and you try to improve upon it. And this is where he said he got really, really good, was that he reached a point where he really had a feel for the writing and the style and flow of writing in general and about the specific type of writing that he was doing. And so then, in much the same way, if you do this, you'll get a feel for that writing, and you will develop a certain style and eloquence that's similar to the people that you are modeling. So for me, that's kind of the process, something very similar to what I do as I sit down to write. I kind of sit down and I think about what specific topic it is that I want to write about. I begin to germinate some ideas. It's kind of like the reticular activation system. Do a little bit of research, let it set for a little while, read what some other people have written on some of these things, and then I kind of come back and I start formulating and throwing my ideas together. So that's awesome. Kind of my process.
That's awesome, man. So we're talking about, on a psychological level, we're doing a lot of immersion in subject matter, and also we're modeling on a actionable level. So, and that's like a broad summary of what you just said, but not nearly as eloquent. So, but you're immersing and you're modeling, and that works really well, you think?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, cool. That's awesome, dude. That makes complete sense, you know. That makes complete sense, and I wonder how many people aren't immersing themselves enough to really understand the subject matter enough to have it make an impact on their mind to where it really becomes relevant. Because there's so much out there, there's so many distractions out there, dude. I mean, I could start out watching one of your YouTube videos, Casey, and I could end up watching a video about a cat jumping in a swimming pool. I mean, like a half hour later, like all of a sudden 3 hours went by, dude. I haven't done anything but watch birds fly over a fence or something. How did I get into this, man? The other day I got so distracted. I was watching garbage trucks. I didn't even know that was a thing on YouTube, man. This whole channel is devoted to people filming their garbage trucks. I don't understand it. That's a thing. So how is it that people get immersed in things that don't matter? They get immersed in things that don't matter instead of immersed in things that can actually help them. What's your take on that? Why is that, man? Why are people so easily distracted?
I would say two things. One is they don't have a goal that drives them and motivates them, and they lack focus. You know, if you and I use this in one of my YouTube videos, but you know, what's the power of focus and what's the power of goals? So if you take if you go out and stand in the sun for a short period of time, you develop a sunburn. It takes a couple hours. You might be uncomfortable. But if you take a magnifying glass and you focus the sun's rays in on your skin, in a matter of seconds, it'll burn you. That's the power of focus, right? And so, in much the same way, if the power of your intentions is like the sun's rays, and the magnifying glass is your goals. So you're focusing your intentions through your goals so that you achieve things much faster. And that's the power of focus. And I think a lot of times people, it's just focus and directing your attention is a skill. It's a developed skill like almost anything. And in the modern era, it's so easy to get distracted.
It's true, man. Absolutely. Um, Very, very cool. Appreciate you taking time to answer that one, man. Listen, you do a lot of CPA marketing, all right? Have you found that to be a good income source? You know, what advice would you give to someone who would like to profit from this style of marketing?
It's CPA marketing or performance marketing is kind of a sub niche of affiliate marketing. So where people tend to think of affiliate marketing more in more broad terms as, say, promoting Amazon products with niche sites or something like that. And really in CPA, you're taking an offer from a network. The network collects offers from advertisers. They're an aggregator of offers, so to speak. And you go in, you develop a relationship with the network, and you scan the offers, and you find something that you think is worthwhile to promote. You do some research, and then you're just either setting up banner ads or some type of creative driving people to a landing page, and you're going to get paid, say, anywhere from 20 cents to maybe $100, depending on if it's per lead or per sale. And so I got started in it just because I felt like it was a way that if you hit upon a campaign that was successful, you could make some short-term money very quickly. And so that's kind of how I got my start into it. And what's funny is you're talking about distracted and kind of getting off. When I started, I kind of started retail arbitrage, and I thought, well, this isn't scalable, so I thought, well, I'm going to do some Kindle publishing. So I started writing a book, and the book was going to be about the different methods that you can use to generate an online income. And very quickly what I came across was this idea that if I wanted to be able to write effectively and really tell my readers something that was of value, I needed to be doing it and not just talking about it or reading what others were doing. And so, CPA is kind of the path that I settled in upon once I had done that. As far as a revenue stream, it's most networks pay within a week. There are some that still pay biweekly, or some that even pay monthly, just depending on the network. But PureFly.com or Max Bounty, those are two of the best ones, and they pay weekly. Once you get to a certain threshold, you have to have $100 in there. You get to that threshold, and then they'll pay out on a weekly basis. So you can do the traffic or paid traffic. I've had success with free traffic. Matter of fact, my first $350 or so I made in a month with zero investment.
Nice.
Started with nothing. I used free trials for a landing page service and YouTube traffic. Just set up a YouTube channel, drove traffic to my landing page. It was at the free trial, which was 30 days, and then that first month I made about $350. So it's doable, and you can get started with zero investment. But free traffic is not scalable the way that paid traffic is. But it's a way to get started. So.
You think free traffic is a nice way to kind of like dip your toe in and get started, but you think that paid traffic is more scalable?
Absolutely. So on the free traffic side, I don't really have any control over how many people go to my YouTube channel. I mean, I can do things. I can buy ads. I can promote my YouTube channel in different ways, but I'm still kind of at the mercy of circumstance. So if I buy ads, though, if I go out and say I'm going to buy, CPM is cost per mil or cost per 1,000 impressions, or CPC, cost per click. If I'm going to do a media buy, I'm doing CPM. If I'm going to do, a cost per click, just a different model. But I know that I'm going to get so many clicks based on my conversion rate and other things if I drive specific paid traffic. Whereas on the free side, no cost, but I don't have the same scalability.
That's awesome, dude. That's a very, very good insight on that. So now my next question, well, two questions for you. Number one, let's say someone wants to get into CPA marketing. CPA networks have kind of a history of being a little harder to get into, as say like ClickBank or something like that. Can you recommend a good beginner CPA network for people who want to get into networking, CPA marketing, but they've never done it before? And what would be a good beginner CPA network, and what do they do to get in, man? What do they got to say to these guys to get in? Because a lot of times you got to call somebody.
You're right. It's and it. I guess just so some understanding. So why is it a little harder to get in? Black hat or shady and how they approach these things, and the networks, they don't want to lose their relationship with their advertisers. If they don't have advertisers that bring offers to them, then of course the affiliates who promote them, they don't have any revenue stream because they have nothing to promote. So they're out to protect themselves and the other affiliates who are doing things the right way. So that's the reason that it can be a little harder to get into some of the networks. As far as a network to get started with, for me, I think Max Bounty. Max Bounty, they have a great stable of offers in all different kinds of verticals. They pay weekly. They're very reputable. They don't miss payments, and they're big. So as far as how to get in, you go in, you submit your application, and I think what a lot of people probably miss is they think, well, if I just kind of shade this or shade that, because I don't want it to seem like I'm brand new. Network doesn't care if you're brand new. That's not what they're interested in. There are some, but say a newbie-friendly affiliate marketing network like Max Bounty, what they want to know is that you're honest and that you're going to promote the offers in a way that's not going to damage their relationship with their advertisers. And so just get in there, be honest, just say, hey, I'm brand new. If you can take a course, or you can kind of get some exposure where you know a little bit of the vocabulary so that you can know what you're talking about when you're describing these things. And then the last thing I would say is, if you can, buy just some really cheap hosting, $5 or $10 or something at HostGator or something, and throw you up a website, and just put, for me, Lindsays Marketing Group was my first one. So
Nice.
it's just some network. I threw a couple articles to promote my product, very, very low cost. It establishes a little bit of credibility for you that, hey, you're taking this seriously. You've gone through the process of getting some hosting and setting up a website. These things will establish some credibility with the network and make it a little bit easier. And then the last thing is they're going to call you, or you can call them and just say, hey, I just submitted my application and I'd really like to work with your network. I'm new, but I'm hungry. And I've taken this course and this course, and so what do I need to do to get started? And I think you have a real high chance of getting accepted if you kind of follow those steps.
That's great insight, man. Because I know you're right. A lot of people are like, "Oh man, I don't want to seem like a new dude. I better like just make some junk up." And oh yeah, man, I got a list of 100 zillion people, and man, I got a giant YouTube channel, and let me in. I don't know why, but
That's
yeah,
it.
people lose their ability to be honest for some reason when they want to get something. I don't know why. But that's great insight, dude, and I know it's going to help a lot of people, man. So, absolutely. The other question on the back end of that, I guess, would be, you did mention how scalable paid advertising was, and how more consistent and reliable it can be. And for all our people out there who want to get into this kind of thing, I know they're going to hone in on that, man. So, can you give them any tips, or can you point them in a direction of a good, ebook or a course on paid advertising that has helped you, maybe?
Um, as far as a paid course on PPC, there's a lot of agencies that put out free material on pay per click. There's really a wealth of information out there on the free side, and so for me, it's just kind of trial and error. Now, as far as recommendations for getting started, my first exposure to CPC or PPC was with a ad network called Seven Search. And on the in the Affiliate Fix forum, I did a review of the Seven Search platform. Has some great things about it. It's a little slower network. It's not like say AdWords or something where you're going to put your daily budget out there, and I mean, you stand a chance that just because of the volume of traffic, bam, it's going to be gone. It's going to eat it up. So it's probably not as good. The traffic that you're going to get from it is not as good, but it's slow. And it's basically you're buying data. That's the I think it's a paradigm shift. A lot of people say, well, this was a failed campaign. You're just buying data, and you're trying to make distinctions along the way about, okay, well, this campaign didn't work, so then you go back in and you analyze, well, what didn't work? My conversion rate was high, so that's a good thing. So that means my creatives were working, but on the backside, I didn't have anybody clicking through to buy the ad, so maybe my offer selection wasn't good. And you're just analyzing the different pieces that go together. But a lot of people, everybody, because it's really where everything's moving. It's fast paced. I mean, the opportunities for money are just phenomenal. I mean, you see guys that they hit upon a right campaign where they just got the right creatives and they hit the right offer and the way that they set it up. And, I mean, you can just turn a campaign, as long as you got the money to feed it on the front end, I mean, you can blow a campaign up and be doing thousands of dollars a day. But it's really fast. And I wouldn't recommend mobile for somebody that's just getting started. Do desktop traffic, find a traffic source that you feel good about. I mean, Seven Search, like I said, it's a real low cost per click, but the traffic's not going to be as good. And it'll just allow you to learn kind of how the model works. It's a real-time bidding platform, which means that I go in there and I put my bids in, I hit refresh, and I see right then and there how I rank for that keyword. I've got 25 keywords that I'm trying to rank for. Do I want to rank for first on all of them, or second or third? And so anyway, that's kind of how I get started. Is I get started on the desktop side because it's slower, and I get started with a little bit slower network until you get a feel for it, and then move over into, say, like Bing would probably be a better traffic source than AdWords, lower cost per click, and still high quality traffic. Or then as you get better, moving into mobile. So.
That's interesting, man, because a lot of people when they think PPC, like instantly they think Facebook. That's all they think. Facebook. That's like the big thing right now. Everyone is talking about when they do PPC, it's Facebook. What's your opinion on the Facebook PPC thing, man? I mean, is it not necessarily for beginners, or what do you think?
Well, it's Facebook is a great. They're a great ad network. I mean, the great thing about Facebook is just say the targeting that you can do through the Facebook platform. So, man, I can get down into the wood. I mean, deep into the woods. When I'm looking to promote on Facebook, I can segment people out down to an audience, a real small targeted audience, and that may be good, for testing offers or something, just to see what works. The trouble with Facebook for CPA is that it doesn't want to be seen as a network where I don't want if I'm Facebook, I don't want everybody just seeing nothing but ads about, weight loss or make money scams or get rich quick touch stuff. So they have, over time, over the last years, they've really kind of put the clamps on certain types of offers. They don't allow any kind of dating unless you're going to cloak and you're going to be kind of deceptive about how you do it, which is a bad thing. You want to do everything on the up and up. So dating is out. Most weight loss is out, and make money is out on Facebook. That doesn't mean that that you can't drive good traffic through Facebook and that it's not a good platform. It just kind of restricts you as far as what types of offers you can promote.
Nice.
So
That's really cool, man. And I think that's going to give a lot of insight to people. A lot of people weren't even thinking about places like Seven Search. SevenSearch.com, is that it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
That's awesome, dude. Let me ask you this, man. How do your friends and family react when you tell them, "Hey, this is what I do to make money. This is pretty sweet. I make pretty good money doing this kind of thing." How do your friends and family react to that, man? Is any difference or? Sorry, man. I kind of cut that one off a little bit.
Well, to be honest, not all of them know. I just haven't shared, you know, I haven't shared with all my family. There's a few, a few people they know that I'm doing something different, but they don't exactly. I've never really shared it with them. So it's one of those things that when my wife and I make the jump off into full time traveling, everybody will know. And I guess we've kind of figured that we'll cross that bridge when we get
Hey,
there.
I understand, man. People, man, a lot of people just aren't really receptive to it as being like a steady, reliable, normal way to make money. I mean, they're just not receptive to it. If you say to somebody, if they say, what do you do for work? And you say, oh man, I'm a teacher. I make 50 G's a year as a teacher. They're like, oh, okay, cool, man, awesome. Now, instantly, you've been elevated in the status, right? But if they say, what do you do for money? You say, oh man, I sell people ways to make money online. I make 50 G's a year. They're instantly, you've been demoted in status, dude. Instantly. Same amount of
Yeah,
money,
that's funny.
different occupation.
Well, and what's funny, Cam, is I think that in my own life, I can use myself as an example. You know, how many people, and I think I know a little bit about your story. So you say, well, I've got this good job. Yeah, but I mean, you're dependent on outside circumstance. You're not self-sufficient. And who knows when the school could cut back. If you're a teacher, who knows when they could come in and say, hey, we got to cut our budget back by 20%, and you're on the lower end of seniority, so you're gone. And
Right.
so now you spend all this time, and so you're out. Or if you're an older guy, say 45, 50 years old, and you've paid your dues in a company, and they've got some guy just from a business standpoint. They say, I'm paying this guy 85,000 a year. I can pay his replacement 40 to get started. Guy's hungry. He'll work harder, stay longer. Sorry, man, you're out. So
Dude, that
the
happens every day.
stability really, in many ways, is a myth. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
instead of
So,
people thinking like, man, you guys are space aliens for making money like this, they should be afraid because what you just said is happening every day. Every single day that's happening. Dudes with all kinds of experience making $85,000 a year with kids being replaced with young dudes that they can pay $40,000 a year with no kids and they're hungry and they'll stay late and they'll work hard. It happens every day,
yeah,
man. I don't
yeah.
know, man. That's nuts. It is so
Well,
easy.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead, man.
no, I apologize. Um, so in my story, Um, I had worked up to a point where I was a partner in a multi unit Quiznos franchise. I bought my partner out, had an accident a month later, and was out of commission for several months. And I was undercapitalized when I bought my partner out, but I just thought, man, I'm going to run this lean and mean. I've been doing this a long time. I know what I'm doing. Just circumstance. I didn't have anything else. I didn't have any alternate income. I mean, all my eggs were in that one basket. And when I was not able to go work there and run the place, it was devastating. In less than a year, I took 15 years worth of work, and it all was lost. I had to let my stores go, and it was devastating both from a personal standpoint and a financial standpoint. And so, at a certain point, you say, "Hey, man, I need to diversify, and I need to find something that's scalable that I can work that provides me more stability than the perceived stability of owning a business, brick and mortar or something like that, but wearing things in one basket or working for somebody else."
That's man, that is a crazy story. Man, when are you gonna write that book, dude? I want to read it. I want to read the Casey Lindsay story. Seriously. I mean, so let me know about that, dude, because I definitely want to. I like hearing people's stories, man, and that sounds awesome, dude. I mean, it sounds crazy and hard, and you know, um, like there's some downtimes there. I couldn't imagine 15 years, franchise, running it, putting all your eggs in this basket, uh, feeling like you're taking a little bit of a risk, but you know what you're doing, you can handle this, and then everything just like crashes around you, man. That's like so big of a hit to your confidence and finances. And then to come back from that and to start making money online and to make this work is it's awesome, dude. I maximum respect.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You just keep going until you find the lock. It's like a big giant life's like, I guess in many ways I kind of liken it to like it's a big combination lock, and the next course, the next book, the next bit of information that you read to grow and expand. Each of these, you're kind of turning the lock. You hit the right number, and eventually, bam, you hit that combination, and everything opens up for you. But you just got to keep spinning the dial, and so.
Speaking of, kind of making that transition from this crumbling and then getting started with this, and trying to figure out what that lock combination is to unlock it, and this course, that course, figuring out your right combination, man. What was your first attempt at making online money, man? And what were some of your takeaways from that experience?
Well, as I said, really my first exposure to making money online was through retail arbitrage, and it I just thought, man, this is just this way I can work on my own time. I don't have to worry about hours or completely on my own. I dictate when I work. I was like, man, this is awesome, And kind of like you, I found some books. I was fortunate enough. I just kind of stumbled across, a $6 book at Goodwill was worth $100, on Amazon. I was like, wow,
Nice.
so this is awesome. And so, and I made some money on it. This is way. First sale that I got. I think I paid $3 for this book, and I sold it for $85 on Amazon. And I was like, man, this stuff is real, this is awesome. I can do this. And so, but as far as takeaways, it was more than anything, as I said, it was just the idea that, okay, this is a way, and it can work, and it can be a little bit of a supplemental income, but unless you get off, like you said, an FBA or something, you're not going to be able to scale it. You're not going to be able to have it be a job replacement income without job replacement hours. Now, say if I went out and spent 50 hours sourcing products instead of 50 hours at my job, I do have some autonomy there, but that's not really what I was looking for. I wanted something that allows you, again, exponential returns for incremental amounts of time. So that was the biggest takeaway that I had from that.
Absolutely, and you are gonna hit like a serious physical brick wall with that, because you can only package up so many books a day. I mean, let's say you're getting 50 orders a day. Okay, how many books can you package up in one day and send out to customers? I mean, you're gonna be like best friends with everybody at the post office, and like you're there every day. And all you're gonna do, man, is like every single day you're gonna be like packing up books and like taking them to the post office, and then like you're gonna have to take a week off so you can source. So it's like you're gonna hit a brick wall. You can only do so much, and then your options are either find a fulfillment center like Amazon FBA, or your options are to get some employees. I mean, that's the only way you scale from that, and that's difficult. And there are, just like you said, man, there are easier ways to scale. There are businesses that are just inherently easier to scale than that. So, absolutely,
Yes.
man. Um, so cool. If you had just one piece of advice, Casey, one piece of advice to your best friend who is just getting started, and I am, what would it be?
I would say, and I'm just going to guess because it seems like virtually as you read in the forums and you listen to the conversation and the dialogue that takes place on Facebook and masterminds and other places, what you see is a lot of people, they're trying to get started, they're not really what sure direction to go in, and so they just kind of think, and this was my idea in the beginning, well, I'm just going to try everything. I'm going to see what works. And once I figure out something that works, then I'll focus all my energy on it. And really, I think that is a losing strategy. So my one piece of advice would be, for my best friend, find something, a particular niche. So Kindle publishing, YouTube channel creation, and content marketing, CPA, affiliate marketing, whatever it is, find a specific niche where your current skill set has some match, some degree of match space, just so that you have a less of the learning curve is smaller or shorter for you. And then hone in on that niche and tune out everything else, because the distractions that we're talking about and that lack of focus is what's going to keep you from maximizing your time. It's kind of like, say, take a boulder. If I want to get this boulder rolling, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of inertia, a lot of energy to get it moving. Once it develops some inertia and it's moving on its own, well, then to keep it rolling is pretty easy. The problem is that people are trying to push, 4 or 5 boulders to get them moving at the same time, and it's just incredibly difficult. And you see so many people wash out. They say, "Well, this stuff doesn't work." But the problem is they just didn't focus in on something and really, really learn the vocabulary and the skill sets necessary to function well in that space, and then just go get it. Go after it with everything you got. And don't fall prey to shiny object syndrome where you're buying this product and that product and they're all, in different fields or different niches. But just focus in on one thing until you get good at it. And the beauty of it is, Cam, I think that there's so much overlap. Once you've developed a skill in a specific niche or sub-niche of internet marketing, there's so much crossover. It's so easy. So I'm operating CPA. I could write a book on a specific methodology or a course, and now I get off into information product creation. And from that, I move over into doing list building and things like that. And but once you develop a skill that you can make some money from, and you're getting into revenue and you're comfortable in that space, then maybe move over where there's easy crossover in other fields. But stay focused on just that one.
Yeah,
That'd be
man,
my advice.
that's great advice, dude. And I completely second that. I get so many people asking me, "Hey, man, what do you think about this? Does that work, man? Do you think that works? Do you think I can make that work?" And like, I've tried a lot of different ways to make money online, dude. And I can tell you, a lot of them work. A lot more of them work than don't work. A lot more of them actually work than don't work. But the problem is, none of them work if you're just gonna try all of them at once. Or you're just gonna try to like, just try a little bit of this, and then like try a little bit of this. Just like, dude, you can't just dip your toe. You can't just, dude, you gotta jump in the deep end. And like you said before, man, psychologically, you need to immerse yourself. Just pick this one thing. Dude, most of them work. If you throw a dart at a dartboard, it's probably going to land on something that works. And then you just like immerse yourself in this one thing, man. You're going to make it successful, dude. There's a great chance you're going to have success making money on that one thing. If, like you said, you immerse yourself in it, people don't do it, man. It's like you said, man. They're trying to push like 5 or 6 boulders, snowballs at the same time. It's crazy.
It's hard. You just can't do it that way.
Pretty soon they're not even pushing boulders, man. They're watching cat videos. They're not even pushing any boulders. They're just like, wait a minute, what was I gonna do today? Ah, crap, man. That's it's over. They're just watching YouTube videos. They're not even pushing boulders anymore. They're just playing around on Facebook and watching YouTube videos. I don't know, but yeah, you make great points, dude. It's absolutely true. Um, Question for you: when you are deciding what to promote next, and you're like kind of doing your market research about what you think would be successful, do you tend to follow your passion? Do you follow the money? Who wins that battle in a close fight between passion and money? Which is it, man? What do you do?
I think that I'm just kind of I operate under the philosophy that if you do what you're passionate about, if you do what you love, the money will follow. I mean, if you there's not any skill worthwhile to develop in life, any kind of a job skill, whether you're out there, in a regular 9 to 5 type environment where you're getting a degree or working for somebody else or whether you're operating in a digital forum, you're developing a skill. If you are operating in a space where you are really passionate about something, I mean, you really enjoy it, you will be better able to deal with the inevitable challenge that you face, because every one of us faces challenge in varying degree at different points in time. So if you're chasing something just for the money and the wheels begin to fall off, just my humble opinion, but you're going to give up because it's just about the money. But if you're passionate about it, I mean, if you really love what you do and you're operating in that space, then and it's not just about the money will be a byproduct, a natural byproduct of your passion for the skill that you're developing and how well you operate and execute in that space. So I would say you need to follow your passion to make it worthwhile.
That makes total sense, man. And if we're operating under the premise that many things make money, almost most things can make money if someone's clever enough or have a will enough to make connect those dots and make it happen. I mean, I hate to use a cliche example, but the pet rock thing. I mean, if this guy can make money off a pet rock, I mean, then you ought to be able to make money off of whatever you're passionate about if you're clever enough. I mean, just saying. I mean, there's no reason to sell shampoo if you don't care about it. you know.
And I heard on the radio the other day, I heard about some guy that's people. They said the guy's making $10,000 a month carving potatoes. I mean, you can make money doing anything.
That's true. That's true. All right, Casey. Let me get hypothetical on you here, man. Let's say Casey Lindsay loses everything, no money, no email list, no anything. All right. You got 30 days to get the money, 30 days to get the profit. What would you do?
I would I would start with free traffic, obviously, if I had no money. So YouTube is really just the go-to source for free traffic because it's the third most traffic site on the internet. There are billions of hours of video that are watched every day, and so there's a tremendous amount of traffic there. If I had to get started, what I would do is I would set up a funnel on YouTube to funnel traffic through a series of videos, and I would either set up my own information product that I could provide to people, or I would. It doesn't cost anything to join a CPA network. I'd find an offer to promote. And really, this is the way that as I said, this is the way that I got started. Was I took a skincare product, a series of videos. I linked all those videos, kind of in a link wheel, if you will. But they all kind of funneled into one single video. And each of those, at the bottom, I had my affiliate link. And so people would click through, they'd go to a landing page service that I set up. It was called pagewiz.com. It's a free trial, and it's an interesting service, and I think it's a good company, it's a good product. But 30-day free trial, you set up your landing page, it's a drag and drop, so no technical skills or coding skills. You just kind of drag this element over here, expand it out over here. If you have any familiarity with using a computer at all, you could do it. Set up your landing page, and they actually will collect the leads for you. And so, and then they'll jump from your landing page. You have it, your direct link, your redirect goes to the offer page.
I hope that everyone was listening to that because I do a lot of YouTube, and like what Casey Lindsay just said was like, dude, if you can't make money in 30 days doing what he just said, you're not trying hard enough. That's all there is to it. That's what he just said is a very viable way to make money within 30 days on the internet, and it doesn't cost you a cent. It's not going to cost you a single dime to do what he just said. So I suggest taking some notes. Push the rewind button on that one and take some notes. So I got one more question for you, Casey.
It works.
I appreciate you taking the time. I really do. What are you currently working on, man? And what are your plans for the future? I know you contribute over there, affiliateflex.com, affiliatefix.com.
Yes, that's right.
Affiliatefix.com, which I didn't know about that site. You just now taught me about that site. It sounds really awesome because it's just a one-time fee to get access to this giant forum where you can learn all this cool stuff about marketing and CPA and affiliate marketing and stuff. That's awesome, dude. But anyways, I digress. What are you currently working on, man? What are your plans for the future?
Well, I actually have a couple of things. First thing is I'm working to adapt your Group Giants product. I bought that product. It's a great product. I recommend it. And so as I said, you want to be focused and not buy every product that comes along. So I kind of saw an opportunity. I love the idea of using Facebook as a sales funnel. That's just a really neat concept, that's part of your course. And so my thinking was, how can I use this to build a sales funnel for Facebook pages to promote offers, CPA offers. And if you develop a big fan base, a lot of people that like the page, if they get big enough, you can just it's much like an email list in that you can just push button, generate some revenue. You put out some good content, you put good things into your page, maybe contests or different things that are going on. And here and there, you just kind of throw out, say, an offer link or something. And if you've got, 100,000 people that like a page, you're going to get some. It's just a numbers game. You're going to get some number that are going to convert.
It's true, man. So, it's true. It's absolutely true because Facebook has done a really good job of embedding themselves into our social culture. So if you think about when people get online, they have two natural habitats. Well, some people have more, but most people have two. And that's their natural habitat is their inbox for their email. And then another natural habitat is they check their Facebook. They check their inbox and they check their Facebook. It's like they don't just check their email. They're checking their email and then they're checking their Facebook. And Facebook has embedded themselves into their phone, into their tablet, into their computer, at work, in their car. I mean, everywhere. They just done a really good job of embedding themselves into the culture. So, I don't know, man.
You're right.
When you think about it like that, then you really start thinking, wow, dude, this is as good as an email list. That's nuts.
Yes. So, but to take your product and kind of adapt it, that's a case study, and it's something that I'm working on, and something that I plan on putting up as I get some feedback and see how it works. I plan on posting some of that stuff into Web Riders.
Nice.
And just for people to share and kind of see how that works. Another thing, I've got everybody says, well, I've got this top secret traffic source. But I don't know that there's really any top secret traffic source. But I have a source of traffic that I have discovered along the way that I'm just in the very early stages of kind of testing it. Something that I've been thinking about maybe using as an information product, creating an information product around. But it is I wouldn't say secret, I'll just say underutilized and not very well known potential source of traffic for just almost anything to do with affiliate marketing. And so I'm kind of in the very early stages of testing it and to see how well it works. And if it works like I think it could, then I'm probably going to develop an information product around it that I can sell and market. So those are the two immediate things. But for me, I've kind of got this goal that I want to create a series of layers of income. So people say multiple streams of income. So some things work for more immediate income. So CPA, if you do it right, CPA can be real immediate money. you go out there, you create a working campaign, you get one that works, and you scale it, and man, I mean, it's just real quick money. But it doesn't have longevity. And depending on whether, say, you're operating in, PPC advertising campaigns have more longevity than, say, PPV, which is where you have pop-ups or something like that. Those tend to be where you're targeting a specific website. Those tend to be much shorter lived campaigns than CPC, so you do have some longevity on that side. But again, it's not this long-term money. You're not going to set up a campaign and have it be evergreen for a long, long time. So for me, I started thinking, well, what I'd really like to do is develop a series of ideas and methods, some that generate more immediate money, some that kind of generate more, say, intermediate type money, and some that are really focused on the back end. You need the front end to kind of survive right now day to day, but you want the back end so that you can kind of really just walk away and have total time freedom. So for me, that's kind of the direction that I'm working, is trying to layer these things in to have these different layers of income, streams of income.
Smart, man. Very, very smart. Guys, he is Casey Lindsay, owner of Nomadic Income Experiment, owner of the Nomadic Marketer YouTube channel, affiliate marketer, CPA guy. Casey, I appreciate you being on, dude. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend with me today on this interview and to talk to my audience. Appreciate you, man.
No, thank you, Cam. I appreciate the opportunity to connect with you and your audience.
And
Appreciate it.
I'll see you in Web Riders, brother.
Sounds great. See you there.